Howdy folks, my name's Alex, otherwise known as For the Zine. Welcome to episode 72 of the Turners Digest. As always, we'll start with a disclaimer. I'm not a financial or tax advisor. This is not financial or tax advice. This is for entertainment purposes only, and please enjoy. Happy summer, everybody. Recording this May 27th, just after Memorial Day, which is like the kind of fake summer marker. I'll start off with some housekeeping stuff. Still want to stop using filler words, already off to a bad start. Classic podcast aggregator app. There's also a Patreon if you want to support, patreon.com/Turners Digest. Start as little as $1. Shout out to my brother's band, Heavy Lemon, for the intro music. Also, as long as I get permissions from him, I plan on playing a demo of their new song on the outro. They have a new singer, and they sound pretty good. It's a pretty raw cut, but I thought it sounded pretty great. I was shocked to hear it wasn't mixed at all. So as long as I get permissions, I'll play it at the end of this episode. Per usual, shout out to our Cleed tier members, including Kung Fewer, Cleed, Dion, Erica, Hugh Hui, Rob, Desi, Stan, and Jeff. Thanks all for your contributions, as well as welcome to Jennifer and Josie to the Patreon. And then finally, this isn't a advertisement or anything, but I was reached out to by Jonah Chen on Discord to ask if I would be interested in sharing some information about a piece of software that they wrote. It's free to use. It's called churningtracker.com. It's a place for managing churning tracking, from MS to buying groups to sign up bonuses to everything in between. So if you're interested, it's a bit too advanced for my take. Honestly, I didn't take too much of a look at it. I try to time box these things to try not to let this hobby consume me. But I clicked around, and honestly, you can import your CSV, but I have a lot of personal information in my CSV, including like net worth, account information, full account numbers, which probably isn't great to put in a Google Sheet, but I do anyway, and I don't feel comfortable uploading that to the software, so I haven't used it too much, but I figured I'd give them a shout out. Anybody that's been in the space for a while, Jonas said they've been in the churning space for 4 years, and anytime there's a software engineer out there that's trying to make it with some piece of software, I'm happy to try and echo or megaphone their intents. So take a look if you're interested. There's links in the show notes. For today's episode, we're going to start with credit cards, then move on over to bonuses, including bank accounts and businesses, and then move down to class actions, some deals, some other information, and we'll call it a day. All right, first off in Card World is Capital One. So Capital One has decided to rebrand their Spark Miles and Spark Miles Select to Venture Business and Venture One Business. And the Venture Business card is coming with a 100,000 point sign-up bonus. That is when you spend 75,000 miles when you spend 7,500 in the first 3 months, and then an additional 75,000 miles when you spend an additional 30,000 in the first 6 months. So that's, quick math, $37,500 in 6 months. So if you have a pretty hefty fee coming up, I guess it could be worth it for you. Or a pretty hefty charge coming up could be worth it for you. There's a $95 annual fee, which is not waived for the first year. Then a few different credits come with the card, as well as some multipliers in the card. It is slated to end June 8th, which is coming up here in a few weeks. So if you have some pretty big spend and you have a business expense or a business account that you want to open for, you can take a look there. Next, we have Capital One Venture Business cards will not report to personal credit bureaus. So Capital One kindly shared that Capital One Venture Business cards will not be reported to the personal credit bureaus, according to Capital One spokesperson that spoke with Dr. of Credit. It's just good to know what will report. I know I personally have been keeping an eye on my credit report and my credit score, which I'll give an update on a little bit here. But it's good to know when things for sure are not going to report on your personal report, especially for these business cards where you might just be opening them for the bonus and just get some spend for your business and then close the account. You don't want it to impact your personal account. Next, since Capital One acquired Discover, we'll be including Discover here, but Discover has a new bonus for their Discover It. This is the first time I've seen this, where they're offering both a sign-up bonus as well as the points multiplier. So normally the Discover It, when you open the card, you get double cash back for all purchases for the first year. So for the 5% category, for each quarter, you get $1,500 in spend for that 5% category. Well, when you double it, you get 10% back on that category for up to $1,500 in spend per quarter, an additional 1% on all other purchases, which is then boosted to 2%. So that's in addition to the $200 sign-up bonus when you spend $500 within the first 3 months. So some quick math here. If you max out the double cashback for the 5% and get the $200, the double cashback max would be $300 because you normally would get 5% on $6,000 in a year, and instead you'd get 10%, but you only get the extra 5% as your sign-up bonus, and then you additionally get the $200, so $300, $200, $500, which is pretty great for a no annual fee card. And I personally like the Discover It card. I think it has good rotating categories. We've covered rotating categories in the past plenty of times, and they're pretty useful categories like groceries or restaurants or wholesale clubs or fitness clubs or transportation, stuff like that. So if you don't ever discover it, now is a great time to go for it. Something that should be called out is since Capital One has been, since Discover has acquired Capital One, since Capital One has acquired Discover, the Discover card probably will pull all 3 credit bureaus. Capital One pulls all 3 credit bureaus when you apply. You are able to freeze one and still get approved, so I would advise freezing one of them just so you don't get an additional credit pull and still get approved, but just keep that in mind when you're opening the cards. Next, we move over to Bank of America land. Bank of America and American Airlines announced expansion of partnership, new cards, and refreshes. Bank of America and Alaska Airlines have announced an expansion of their partnership, including a multi-year extension of its co-branded partnership. As part of this move, Atmos Rewards cards will move to a single card issuer. Previously, Bank of America issued Alaska Airlines cards, and Barclays was issued of Hawaiian. Alaska has acquired Hawaii, and the new cards changed branding from Alaska to Atmos. It's not immediately clear from the press release if this means Bank of America will be acquiring the backbook for Barclays for existing cardholders. We've reached out to Bank of America and Alaska for comment, according to Dr. Credit. So I'd be surprised to see if they don't purchase the backbooks, honestly. It'd be odd to have this misalignment of products in the ecosystem. They're trying to make them go under one roof, specifically Alaska and Hawaiian. So I would not be surprised by that, but something to keep an eye on. Next, Bank of America has a new sign-on bonus for the new Royal One Royal Caribbean cards. So Bank of America is offering sign-on bonus on top of the $700. Bank of America is offering a sign-on bonus of up to $700 towards onboard credit or cruise discounts on the new Royal One Caribbean Group cards. Bonus are as follows: 70,000 points after $3,000 in spend with Royal One Plus within the first 90 days, or 45,000 points after $2,000 to spend on the Royal One card not the Royal One Plus card within the first 90 days. The Royal One card has no annual fee, $100 anniversary discount if you spend $10,000 within the first year, 3x on Royal Caribbean, Celebrity Cruises, and Silver Seas, 2x on grocery, gas, and EV charging, 1x on everything else. The Royal One Plus has a $99 annual fee, priority suite boarding, priority lounge handling with Royal Caribbean priority luggage handling with Royal Caribbean and Caribbean Cruises, $200 anniversary discount if you spend $20,000 within a card member year, $120 per TSA PreCheck global entry, no foreign transaction fees, earns 4x on Royal Caribbean, Celebrity Cruises, and Silver Seas as opposed to 3x. Still has 2x on groceries, gas, and EV charging, but also gets air, hotel, and dining, and then 1x points on all other purchases. Doesn't seem like this is super useful to me. You have to be very into these types of cruises already. But if you are into this, if you do often go on these cruises, the bonus might be big enough to consider for the credit card for booking your cruise. I would be curious to see if anyone has any experience with going on cruises or getting good deals. I know that there were some good ways to get cruises for pretty cheap from what I remember, but I don't remember a lot of details about it. So I'd be curious to hear y'all's experience. Next, the Bank of America cards sign up through Rakuten is still happening. So the travel rewards are earning $275 if you sign up through Rakuten and $150 for the customized cash. Not the highest ever, but close. This is still pretty awesome to stack on top of things. Again, this is similar to Discover It card where they're adding additional bonuses on top of the existing bonus. So listen to the last episode if you're curious on why that's so good, but I've sent deal alerts out for this in the past, and it's pretty useful if you ask me, or pretty lucrative if you ask me. Next, Dr. Credit often has these aggregate posts where they aggregate a bunch of data points and they share information on how to use a particular credit. In the past, I've used this for the Bank of America Premium Rewards and Premium Rewards Elite Travel Credit, which is $100 for the travel for the Premium Rewards and $300 for the Premium Rewards Elite. And data points on there will tell you that purchasing American Airlines gift cards will trigger that credit. And unlike the Premium Rewards card, which doesn't have this, the Premium Rewards Elite card also has a $150 lifestyle credit. And I've just been sharing my data points in that travel rewards thread because there hasn't been one on Dr. Credit for the lifestyle credits, but they came around and made one. I had a post on Reddit a long time ago detailing my experience with this particular credit from a year ago, and I'll post links to everything as always in the show notes. But this credit is kind of annoying to use. There's some gotchas in here, and they do some checking on the merchant name in addition to merchant category codes. So keep that in mind. But I saw some data points in here calling out that Airbnb gift cards work. So I went and purchased a $75 gift card in Airbnb, and that didn't work. So me and other users in the Dr. Credit comments are theorizing that it's actually DoorDash gift cards, where someone purchased a DoorDash gift card on DoorDash or purchased a gift card on DoorDash for Airbnb, and that credited. And there's a lot of data points to support that, so I'm thinking that's what it is. So that's a new one. You can use the credit towards DoorDash gift cards. I just use it for Uber gift cards, and those are still working. Just Uber loads. Just load your Uber cash with money, and it works. I usually do it in $75 increments for some reason, but it should just work for a big burst if you want. Also of note that I've called out in my post, and Dr. Credit's also calling out that Ubers internationally don't work. So you can obviously just use this credit organically through Ubers or what have you, but I prefer just having the gift cards loaded in the account. But I've tried using this card internationally with Ubers, and it does not work. And I've chatted with customer support, and they tell me that explicitly is only for domestic charges, not international charges. So something to keep in mind. Next, Bank of America Air France KLM card now earns 3x points on Bilt. Bilt has announced that Bank of America Air France KLM card holders will now earn 3x points when making rent payments on Bilt on up to $50,000 in spend annually. Once the cap is reached, you earn 1.5x points per $1 spent paid in rent. Similar deals are also available to Chase United card holders, 2x per $1, and Bank of America Alaska Atmos 3x for $1. Air France KLM cards also earn status points when you reach spending milestones, 20 credits on every card anniversary, 80 credits when you spend $15,000 or more, and additional 60 credits when you spend a total of $25,000. Again, this whole Bilt thing is really convoluted and confusing, and I don't really get too into the weeds with it. I just pay my rent with a check, like old-fashioned ways, but I'm sure it works for some, especially with places that have the Bilt portal as their primary payment portal. Additionally, with Bank of America and Uber, Bank of America Deals has a Uber Eats credit or an Uber Eats offer where you spend $25 or more and get $15 back, which expires June 9th. And it doesn't look like it's a shop through offer. It's just make the purchase on your card. Some people in the comments are saying that they are trying to just purchase gift cards, and we're going to see if that works. Let's see if someone's updated yet. Yeah, checking the user that posted that on May 26th. This was yesterday. They haven't shared anything yet, but I assume it's not going to work. So I mean, $15 off $25 purchase on Uber Eats is pretty good, in addition to any discounts you can get on Uber Eats, and you can do a pickup order too. So keep that in mind if you have a dine-in night coming up. Next, Bank of America Preferred Rewards streaming credit, $8 to $15 at Paramount, Sirius, Wall Street Journal, and Economist. So this is specifically for the new Preferred Rewards program that Bank of America is rolling out. It's now live, and there's now a streaming credit that goes along with it with the new program. So they're specifically laid out as preferred honors level, which has $100,000 in assets, receives up to $8 in credits per month. Premium level, $1 million plus, receives $15 credits per month. Streaming credits are valid at Paramount Plus, SiriusXM, Wall Street Journal, The Economist. You must have a Bank of America checking account. You must use your debit card to pay for any of these subscriptions in order to get the credits. This benefit requires activation. So keep all that in mind. It's kind of crazy that you deposit $1 million in Bank of America and they give you $15 a month as a thank you. And it's also weird that it comes off of the debit card for the checking account. And I guess this is a benefit of the checking account, but still it's kind of weird. As discussed in the original post, the new Bank of America Preferred Rewards program also includes a huge downgrade for those in the 100K tier in terms of credit card rewards, which also go into effect at the same time, 2027, 2028, varies by member. So more information there if you want to know about the timeline. Mine's good, I think, until like late next year, so I'm all right for now, but I'm considering transferring out elsewhere. Next, on to Wells Fargo. The Wells Fargo adds Cathay Pacific as a one-to-one transfer partner. So Wells Fargo Autograph and Wells Fargo Autograph Journey cards now have transferable points at 1-to-1 to Cathay Pacific. American Express already reduced their transfer rate to Asia Miles from 1-to-1 to 5-to-4. So it's nice to have an additional new transfer partner. Wells Fargo is on a roll with adding Wyndham as a 1-to-2 transfer partner earlier this month and JetBlue as a 1-to-1 partner at the end of the last year. Hopefully this is in preparation for the Wells Fargo Autograph Beyond card that's rumored to come out soon. As a reminder, you can also get a bonus of 100,000 points on the Wells Fargo Autograph Journey card, Premier, and Private Bank versions. Next, into Citi World. Citi Thank You, formerly Sears, not Shop Your Way Rewards, so separate things, are changing earning rates on 5/12. And the rates looks like cards saying that the earning rate will change from 1x thank you points on all purchases to the same categories former Shop Your Way rewards cards were getting. Citi last made changes to the card in early 2025 when it converted Citi Sears to Citi Thank You MasterCard. I honestly also am kind of confused as to what card I have. I think I have a Citi Thank You MasterCard because I had the Citi Shop Your Way card, but not the Citi Sears card, which is a separate card, but you are being put over to Citi Thank You points and earning different benefits such as getting 5x thank you points for every dollar spent for $10,000 in gas station, 3x for every 10K on grocery and restaurant, 2x on 10K for department stores, and 1K on everything else. So not to make things confusing. Next, the Citi Advantage Executive 100,000 miles offer. So the Citi's offering 100,000 miles after spending $10,000 within 3 months on the American Advantage Executive Card, which has a $600 annual fee and a whole slew of benefits. Citi recently made some major changes to the card, including annual fee increases and authorized fee increases, alongside with some additional credits. Dr. Credit says, I don't think this card's worth holding long term, but if you see the benefits and miles, then this is a good bonus on this card, and I don't see you going higher in the future. And it is added to the best credit card sign-up bonuses. Just Dr. Credit's also calling out that normally these higher 100,000 points only last for about half to 2 months, for a month and a half to 2 months. So keep that in mind. This was posted at May 7th, and it's been about a month, about 20 days now. So you still have some time, but keep in mind that they don't last very long. Next, Citi has offers similar to Bank of America deals, similar to Amex offers, and Citi's is probably the most annoying and cumbersome of the ones that I have. They're called like Citi Merchant offers, but there's one that's spend $500 or more at JetBlue and get $50 back. Previously, it was spend $200 and get $50 back and $250 and get $50 back, but now it's up to $500 and get $50 back. So it's 10% back, but hey, if you already have spend with Citi coming up, then go for it. Next, huge rumor that's all but confirmed. The custom cash card is being discontinued for new applicants and for product changes. As far as I'm aware, for product changes, I think. But all existing cardholders will be able to remain the same. So Citi sent out a FAQ to branch managers as well as various branches that the card will be discontinued starting this Friday. That's the 29th of May. And they're basically just phasing it out and only keeping the double cash. So if you have a Citi card that you've wanted the product changed to the Citi Custom Cash Card, as a reminder, it earns 5% cash back in your top spend category up to $500 per month, including restaurants, groceries, gas, and also select travel, which includes Airbnb, which I find useful. So you can also have more than one of these cards. So if you open a card organically and have another Citi card, you can then product change to the Citi Custom Cash Card and have multiple of it. So I personally have 2. So this is a good time to get the card and get your foot in and have one of these cards before they're no longer offered. You can still apply online. And as far as I know, existing cardholders will not be changed, but that's at least what they're saying right now. So we'll see how long that lasts. Next, over to FNBL World. The Green Select credit card is 0% intro APR for 18 months and 0% intro APR for balance transfers with a 5% balance transfer fee. I know some people have issues with carrying balance, or they just want to be able to put a large purchase on 0% and carry it out for a while, or they want to get a 0% intro card and then do some kind of bank account opening where they can fund it with a credit card and just carry that balance and put the balance into a high interest savings or checking account. So this is a card offer for you. If you are looking for a 0% balance transfer fee card, then you could look into WECU Lux Visa, which I saw someone mention in Doctor of Credit, where it gets 0% intro APR and 0% balance transfer APR, as well as 0% balance transfer fee. So there's an option for you there too. Looks like I have 2 Capital One categories in my show notes, so we're going to go back to Capital One land. Capital One Quicksilver moves to Discover Network, gets 3% cash back on gas and groceries, 1.5% everywhere else. Emails went out today to Capital One Quicksilver cardholders indicating the card will transition to Discover Network. This makes sense. That's why they bought Discover. This card will also get an added 3% category on gas and groceries and keep the 1.5% elsewhere. Those people will be offered an old MasterCard network, but I just saw this morning, and I say added 3% categories. I would agree. Since Capital One is now the issuer and the network, they now get the network fee as well. So they get a little bit extra cash back, or a little bit extra basis points on every transaction, so they can afford to offer better rewards. Quicksilver has always kind of been a nothing burger with 1.5% cash back, but now you also get 3% on gas and groceries. Decent value prop, especially if you already have the card. Next, in also Discover Capital One news, Discover will transition to Capital One website and app on July 27th, 2026. So just for awareness, the Discover app will be getting phased out and you'll be moved over to the Capital One app. So just keep that in mind that if you only have one, you'll have to make a new account with the other, or you'll have to do some kind of transition over. Just keep that in mind. Next, I've seen some rumors that Uber is removing Discover from being able to use within the app. And it's not, I don't know if it's exactly official, but it sounds like they are using some kind of tactics to try and either negotiate a better deal with Discover to get lower fees or something along those lines. So keep that in mind. If you have your Discover card within your Uber, then you may no longer be able to use the card, which is really interesting. And I'm curious to see what happens because I'm sure Capital One doesn't want that. Next, we move over to American Express land. So for starters, I closed my Hilton Aspire card after getting all my credits and actually getting some refunds. I decided that I don't need the card anymore since the annual fee hit, so I canceled it and got a refund fully of the annual fee. I did share a Patreon exclusive for a breakdown of my Hilton Aspire value that I got with the card, but I'm happy to share it here. I overall, including the annual fee, got a value of $925 that I calculated. That includes the annual fee, which was $550, then a sign-on bonus, which was 200,000 points, which I valued at $1,000. That's based on my use of those points at various Hilton properties. Additionally, it comes with American Express flight credit, which I used $50 of. I think it was quarterly, but I only used it once. And then also there were resort credits. So you get a $200 resort credit that you're able to use at some various resorts. I stayed at the Sedona Resort, which wasn't great, but hey, I stayed there anyway, and also wound up getting a refund for those. So I actually didn't pay anything. I just got the $200 straight as cash back on my account. So normally I'd be getting a value of $525 with the $550 annual fee deducted, but since I got those fees refunded, it wound up being $200 twice. Because you get it semi-annually, and I did it at the end of last year, and I did it at the start of this year. Just did some prepayments for our hotel stay. So I actually got about $1,000 for that card. So I was pretty happy with that one. Next, American Express Gold Card updated their benefits. So user FitWeight reported just opened the Amex app to see a banner about Gold Card benefits, and now gets 5x on hotels via Amex Travel, and dining credits has new partners. No more Gold Belly or Wine.com. Now it added Seamless, Wonder, and Buffalo Wild Wings. And over on Dr. Credit, they also reported this is specifically for the Gold 60th anniversary Amex offers. I think this is actually separate, but yes, this is separate. So there is the 60th anniversary Amex offers that are available for the Amex Gold. American Express has made a number of changes to the Gold in the past. Actually, here's the post. Ahaha. The annual fee will remain at $325. Updated $120 dining credit will include new partners, including Buffalo Wild Wings and Wonder, as the user reported. Effective July 1st, Gold Belly and Wine.com are removed. Card will earn 5 points on prepaid hotels booked through the Amex travel portal and complimentary Hertz 5-star status. They will also be limited time gold anniversary offers. And let's go check and see what these are. They include earn 50% back on Clear Plus purchase on a total of $300. Get $96 back when you purchase an annual membership of Uber One. You get $30 back at Williams-Sonoma when you spend $100. You get $50 back when you spend $100 on Uber Max HBO Max, and a plethora of other offerings, including Clear Concierge spend $99 and get $99 back. So some of these might not be super useful, but if you have some spend that are already aligning with those categories, then you can go for them. Next is a new increased sign-up bonus for the American Express, Charles Schwab, and Morgan Stanley Platinum cards, specifically at 150,000 points for spending 12,000 in the first 6 months. There's some exclusives that come to each of these cards. A Morgan Stanley card gets your first additional Platinum card for free, redeem points as cash credited to your E-Trade Morgan Stanley account at a value of 1 cent per point, unlimited. And Morgan Stanley annual engagement bonus of up to $895 annually into your Platinum cash account, offsetting the annual fee, but it requires a bunch of cash to be sitting somewhere. And then Schwab card gives you 1.1 cent per point cash out, limited to 1 million points, and Schwab appreciation bonus, an annual statement credit based on Schwab assets of $100 with 250,000, $200 with $1 million, $1,000 with 10 million plus. So if you're really interested in those exclusives, these are the highest straight sign-up bonus that we've seen for these two flavors of the American Express Platinum. But keep in mind that the fee for the Platinum also went up to $900, and it's applicable for these as well. So it could be a hard pill to swallow. Next, the American Express business credit for ChatGPT is added for the business Platinum and business Gold cards in the order of a $300 credit. So the $300 ChatGPT credit for American Express Business Platinum, Business Gold are now live and required in your login. Regular consumer ChatGPT Plus is worth $20 per month, no annual discount. Business ChatGPT has a minimum of 2 users. Either you can pay $20 per month per user when billed annually, or $25 per month when billed monthly. Dive Credit says this is a nice benefit, especially for someone already paying for ChatGPT. Even someone paying for the consumer version should be able to switch over to the business version for the freebie. Also of note that the U.S. Bank Triple Cash has a $100 software credit that has been working for ChatGPT. Someone with that card will have to factor in when deciding their best option. Next, American Express Business Gold to lose FedEx as flexible business credit option, which was $20 per month. American Express has updated the language on the landing page on the American Express Business Gold to state that FedEx will no longer be an option for the $200 monthly $20 flex business credit from 10/1/2026 onwards. Frequent Miller shared that this would be happening later this year before being told it was an error. FedEx was an option for many businesses, and I'm somewhat surprised to see it removed given how frequently American Express has offers for FedEx. It still works at Grubhub and office supply stores, so kind of interesting to remove FedEx. I wonder, it's always interesting to me to see what drives these type of decisions. There's definitely some kind of contract behind the scenes that isn't being signed or isn't being renewed that causes these. Next, American Express Business Platinum has a 120,000 point upgrade offer. It's specifically for spending $10,000 on the Business Platinum card in the first 3 months from the date your account is upgraded. So if you have a card that's eligible, there's a targeted link that you could click to see if you have the availability to upgrade. I currently don't have a card that's able to upgrade, at least I don't think. Let me see. Yeah, when I click through, it says to upgrade your card, please contact the number on the back of your card. So not eligible for me, but could be eligible for some. Next, American Express adds new restricted language to Marriott cards. These are specifically to call out carve-outs for the sign-up bonuses, but update on May 14th on the Bonvoy Brilliant card, the new language is gone and the old, less restrictive language is back. So the bevy still has the new restrictive language, but specifically the Bonvoy Brilliant card has been rolled back. So that's good to know. Next, the American Express Bonvoy Marriott Business Card has a elevated sign-up bonus of 100,000 points plus $125 statement credit when you spend $8,000 in the first 6 months. The card gets you anniversary free night award up to 35,000 points and $125 annual fee. Earns 6 points on Marriott purchases for Marriott purchases at U.S. restaurants, U.S. gas stations, and wireless telephone purchases made directly with U.S. service providers and U.S. purchasing for shipping, as well as $2 per point on all other spend. It also gets you silver status, earn gold by making $35,000 purchased in your first year, and receive 15 nights towards elite status, as well as premium in-room internet at participating properties, and informed transaction fees, and you can get a bonus once per lifetime. So I saw this and decided to apply for it and was approved. We'll talk about it a little bit here, but I also was hoping to get some pretty quick, easy American Express spend with a bank account bonus, but that didn't work out well, so stay tuned a little bit for that. Some people were saying, or Dr. Credit said that this was not as good as previous offers, since previous offers came with free night credits, but people in the comments are saying that free night credits are kind of hard to use, so having a raw points offer with a statement credit seemed to be better, so I went for it. Next, American Express and Fanatics announced a partnership with a new credit card, Fan Cash Transfer Partners, and more. So, new Fanatics American Express card will launch this year with details available in the coming months. The card will earn Fan Cash. Cardholders will receive exclusive benefits and elevated tier status with Fanatics One loyalty program. Membership rewards will be transferable to Fan Cash within the year, and American Express becomes official partner of Fanatics and Fanatics Fest. It seems the card will be issued by First Electric Bank and managed by Imprint, which we've seen a few other offerings such as Rakuten, Shell, and more. This means it isn't a true American Express card, and it just runs the American Express network. I don't see this being useful to anybody, especially with transferring membership rewards points to Fan Cash. That seems like a crazy one-way route, but sure. Next, we have some new no lifetime language Hilton credit card offers. So these are specifically cards that say that you can earn the bonus even though you've already got the bonus in the past, meaning no lifetime language. This is available for the Hilton Honors Surpass, and the Hilton Honors Aspire cards. The business card does not seem to have the no lifetime language, so keep that in mind. Like I said, it just came from the Hilton Aspire. I think it's a good card, especially if you have a decent amount of spend coming up. The cards either need 2,000, 3,000, or 6,000 spend as you go up with annual fees, and you also go up with sign-up bonuses, including 100,000, 130,000, 175,000 points. Next is a targeted offer for upgrading to American Express Blue Cash Preferred and get a $150 bonus and an annual fee waived. I've seen this in the past in my American Express offers. I had the Blue Cash Preferred, then I downgraded to Blue Cash every day, and then I received this offer to upgrade, and it specifically is to spend $1,000 in 6 months and get $150 cash back as statement credit, as well as waiving the annual fee of $95. So you should check to see if you're available for this offer. It was pretty great for me. I got the sign-up bonus for the Blue Cash Preferred, and then I downgraded and got my annual fee refunded after the first year, and then was offered this again. So I've gotten a bonus twice for the card, which is pretty nice. And I still have the card and earned 6x on groceries, and the upgrade offer paid for the annual fee anyway. And I think mine also got waived, so not really. I don't see any negatives there. Next, over in Chase Land, Chase announces select properties with 2.5x points boost redemption. So the original post was from April, but there was an update at the end of April. So in the original post said starting today on April 21st, Chase Travel is offering its highest ever Ultimate Rewards points boost redemption value of 2.5x points on curated selection of the added properties. And there's a whole bunch of properties that are listed. Most of them are international. Then an update on the 24th says, Reader Next Card noticed at the same time Chase released 2.5x promo, they also lowered the majority of 2 cents per points hotels down to 1.65 cents per points. A reader notes that much of the airline 2 cent per points was removed as well as the same time as the 2.5 release. So it seems like one of those classic bait and switch where they make it seem like it's a positive change, and there are some positive changes, but also hidden within there are negative changes. It seems like that happens a lot with Chase, so love that. Next, the Amazon Visa card from Chase has a unique sign-up bonus where you earn an extra 1% cash back on everyday purchases when signing up for the Chase $900 checking and savings bonus. So we did a episode around like episode 50 for churning bank accounts for dummies, and we did a pretty deep dive into this Chase $900 checking savings bonus, which is awesome. And now they're doing an additional bonus where you get an extra 1% bonus on every purchase on the Amazon Visa card when you sign up for the $900 checking savings bonus. This is available until June 15th, and extra 1% is good through March of next year, with a limit of $200 in bonus points. So pretty great if you don't have the card ready. So not bad. The card does often offer $250, I think, max as a sign-up bonus. So it might not be super useful considering you can get like $200 or $300 during around Prime Day for this card. But it could be an option for you. Next, the Chase Sapphire Reserve sign-up bonus is up to 100,000 points when spending 6,000 in the first 3 months. I'm not going to go through the benefits here, but that's a pretty good offer. It's higher than the initial offer that they offered with the card. Prior offers of Chase Sapphire Reserve were 100,000 plus 500 travel points and then 125K. This new one, 150K, is the best offer ever, and I would agree. It does have a hefty spend of 6,000 in 3 months, but not as bad as American Express. Next, there's a rumor that Chase Sapphire Reserve to add a $7.50 discount on Apple One subscriptions expanded Apple TV benefit. It looks like Chase is planning on making changes to Apple TV benefit for Chase Sapphire Reserve card and JP Morgan Reserve personal cards. Chase briefly added language to the Chase Sapphire Reserve card stating the following. Highlighted in Dr. Credit, so I'm just going to read this. You will automatically receive a $7.50 discount on your Apple One subscription starting in your next billing period. That language has now been removed. Previously, when this happened, it's because the terms have gone live on production before the changes to the actual benefit were announced. So keep in mind that it might not be coming, but it'd be nice to see additional benefits. I know you get Apple Music and Apple TV, I think, for free or something like those lines. I just had it open up. Let me see. You get Apple TV Plus and music subscription for free. So cool. Next, Chase Freedom Unlimited has a $200 sign-up bonus plus 5% back on gas and groceries first year in branch only. Also a pretty good offer. If you can max it out, you get up to $12,000 in spend in the first year for gas and groceries. So pretty good card. Next, Chase Sapphire Preferred is ending the 10% anniversary credit. So back in 2021, Chase Sapphire Preferred cards added a 10% anniversary bonus on points earned. They've now sent out a notification that the benefit is ending in October of 2026. The anniversary bonus is retiring. You will continue to earn 10% of your spend through 10/1/2026. The message has been pulled from Chase accounts now, but Chase has confirmed that it is accurate and will be implemented. Apparently, the message went out earlier than expected. Again, Chase just rolling things back. How nice. And there's an update on the Apple Card. There's a new sign-up bonus. And again, it's falling under the Chase category because technically Chase owns the issuing of the card now. Apple is offering $250 in bonus cash when completing the following requirements. Apply for and get approved for an Apple credit card. Purchase the AirPods Pros 3 from Apple by June 15th, 2025. You get $25 back in bonus cash each month you make 10 plus transactions until April 30th, 2027, up until $250 in bonus cash. So you have to make 10 purchases per month to get $25 for 10 months in order to get the $250 back that you bought for your AirPods. That's not to mention that AirPods are just on sale for $200 this weekend. So really it's a $200 value because the AirPods aren't really cost $250. But I guess if you're really desperate for AirPods, sure, but I definitely would not recommend this. Next, Chase Business Cards referrer bonus increased to 40,000 points. So keep that in mind if you're referring that the bonus was increased to 40,000 points. But keep in mind that since October 2025, Chase Business Card refers bonus is only when you refer a new Chase for business customers. Not going to work if you refer a fellow churner who's currently holding a Chase Business Card. Now, I'm currently a Chase Business member as a checking account. I'm curious if me establishing a new business credit card with Chase would consider me a new customer. If anyone knows, let me know. Next, over into Robinhood land. Someone went through and painstakingly determined the payout for the Robinhood mystery boxes. So you can redeem your Robinhood points for a mystery box, and you can try and gamify loot box your points into higher points. There's things like 100,000 points, 10,000 points, 75,000 points, 5,000 points, 10% back, cash back on grocery purchases, 10% back on automotive fuel purchases, 5% back for 24 hours, etc. So the TLDR here is it's possible to come out ahead if A, you get lucky, and B, manipulate your spending. There's a pretty good table that the user wrote up. The probability is 25%, 10% cash back on your next restaurant purchase, $500 cap. The next one is 17% for 4% cash back for 24 hours. The next is 5% cash back in your next restaurants for cap $500. And there's a whole bunch of other ones. So it's really interesting to see them do this, and I'm not surprised Robinhood would go this like gamifying route, but it's kind of sleazy if you ask me. Next, Robinhood says some things about the gold card in a month ago earnings call. And as I said, Robinhood Gold subscribers grew 36% year over year to a record 4.3 million. During the quarter, Robinhood introduced trust and custodial accounts as part of a new family investing experience. They also define a Robinhood Gold subscriber as a unique person who has at least one account with Robinhood entity and who, as of the end of the relevant period, is subscribed to Robinhood Gold and has made at least one Robinhood Gold subscription fee payment. We define Robinhood Gold adoption rate as end of period Robinhood Gold subscription divided by the end of period funded customers. That makes sense. Next, over to Built. Built devalues Grubhub Built Credit redemption and is issuing a promo code instead of gift cards. So originally it was a $10 gift card, and now it is being issued as a discount code, and you can also stack multiple. Now it's being issued as a discount code, so you can't stack a discount code and a gift card. I mean, sure. At this point, Built, do whatever the hell you want, and we'll all just kind of pick up the scraps when you're done. Next, U.S. Bank has a Amazon Prime business card, which has a $200 to $750 sign-up bonus with no spend requirement. Some readers in the comments who have an Amazon Business Prime membership report getting an offer for $750 if you spend $6,000. If you have Business Prime, let us know the offers you see in the comments below. It looks like organically there is a $200 Amazon gift card upon approval for the U.S. Bank Amazon Prime MasterCard, and others are seeing $250. Let's see what I'm seeing. I'm seeing $100 when you spend $3,000 in 3 months. So that's definitely not what others are seeing. But if you're seeing a pretty good sign-up bonus, that could be useful for you. Next, some random little credit card stuff. The AAA Advantage card is no longer getting 5% on Walmart for groceries after May 15th. Next, Avenue launches a Bitcoin-backed card, which is pretty convoluted. Let me see if I can even understand this. Earn 2% cash back, APR of 8% to 15%, 30% loan-to-loan value. What does that even mean? 50% loan-to-loan value. Oh, it's different APRs based on your loan-to-loan value, which is how many Bitcoin you have being lent and how much credit of Bitcoin you're being given. Not useful. Next, Intuit launches a business credit card, a $300 bonus, 2% cash back, and no annual fee. It's issued by WebBank, who also issues the Gemini business credit card, and it earns $200 sign-up bonus when you spend $3,000 in the first 3 months. No annual fee, 2% cash back on all purchases, 5% back on Intuit and services. Instant card requires a paid Intuit account to apply for this card. I don't know how much the paid Intuit account costs, but probably not worth it. Next, the Costco app is now allowing you to check out with an attached Visa card on your account. So you can link a Visa card to your account and pay with, like if you're at self-checkout, you can scan the QR code and just pay with that card, which is kind of useful. I mean, it saves a little time. A useful thing for me is that those purchases are now coding as online purchase because purchase is made online, and then just the cash register is told that, hey, they squared up with us. So things like the customized cash rewards that earn cash back on online shopping can earn the online shopping category for buying in-store at Costco. Previously, that card would just earn 2% at wholesale, but now it would get the 3% category of online shopping, which is nice. Next, Crypto.com credit card now earns Bitcoin or CRO and has a $300 sign-on bonus. Crypto.com credit card traditionally earned rewards in CRO that has now changed, at least for new card holders, and you can choose between CRO and Bitcoin. You still need to stake in CRO to avoid the monthly fees, and there are earning caps if you choose Bitcoin. Spend caps are low. For example, with the plus tier, you earn 3.5% on up to $500 per month in spend. So again, a nothing burger, but figured I'd cover it. Next, the TD Bank Business Solutions credit card has a $400 sign-up bonus and a 2% unlimited cash back for states including Connecticut, DC, Delaware, Florida, Maryland, Maine, Massachusetts, North Carolina, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, Vermont, and Virginia. Old version, Dr. Credit updated on the 20th of May that the old version of $400 after spending $3,000 is back, also 0% APR for 12 months. There's a whole review here for this card. As a business card, I'm curious to see if it'll report on personal credit reports. Just keep in mind TD Bank business cards report to your personal credit bureau, so keep that in mind. I won't be going for this, but not a bad sign of bonus. Next, Imprint launches a Shell Performance Elite World MasterCard. The card earns 4% cash back on Shell stations on fuel, EV charging, and in-store purchases, 3% back on your favorite restaurants and grocery stores nationwide, 2% back on everywhere else MasterCard's accepted. Card doesn't earn cash back, but earns points that can be redeemed for statement credits towards Shell purchases. No annual fee, $50 welcome bonus when you spend $500 or more. Don't really see the use for this card. You can get 5% cash back on gas elsewhere, and now you're just locked into Shell. I'm surprised it doesn't give you elevated Shell status, because if you have like Shell Platinum, I think, you get 10 cents off per gallon. It would be nice to stack this with that, and this would automatically get it for you. Maybe there was a fee that came with it, but that's not the case. All right, next. Actually, finally, we're going to look at the credit card sign-up bonus of the month. All right, it took us 45 minutes to get through all the credit card news. Good lordy. If you're under 524, I recommend the Chase Airplane card, which is still from last time, or the Chase Sapphire Reserve, which has the new sign-up bonus. That's a pretty good bonus, especially if you have a lot of spend coming up. If you're over, the Amex, Marriott, or Hilton cards look decent. Bank of America Atmos Summit card is still good. The Discover It Cashback and the Bank of America Rakuten card is also decent. In terms of business, the American Express Business Marriott, the Business Hilton, and the Capital One Venture Business, because that's going to be closing soon. All right, next into bank account bonus land. This is for personal bank accounts. Capital One's a $300 to $1,500 savings bonus, requires $20,000 to $100,000 deposit. Look back period has moved massively improved. Not eligible if you had or have opened an account for a 360 permanent savings, 360 savings, 360 money market, savings now, or confidence savings account as a primary or secondary account holder with Capital One on or after January 1st, 2024. Previously, this was 2022, so they've increased a little bit, and the rate is pretty decent. You need to deposit $20,000 to get $300, $50,000 to get $750, or $100,000 to get $1,500. And this must be deposited within 15 days and then maintained for 90 days. Pretty good. Next, C&M Bank for Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York is offering $600 checking bonus. Tier 1, 12-monthly transactions for 6 months or $1,000 direct deposits for 6 months. Tier 2 is $600 total. If you also open a $10,000 savings or CD or take out a $20,000 home equity draw. Tier 3 is $1,000 if you do both the $10K deposit and the $20,000 HELOC requirement. I tried to apply and was not approved. Next, Ally for existing customers is offering a invest $200 bonus when you deposit $1,000 for 90 days. I think I've done this in the past. This is pretty easy. Dr. Credit reports deal is back until December end of this year. Hold period is 90 days. Also, funds need to be from a non-Ally account, or you get $100. Or you only get $100. This offer is only for those who have an Ally bank who have never had an Ally Invest account. So you just open an Ally Invest account, deposit a minimum of $1,000, and keep it for 60 days, and they give you $200. Pretty easy. Next, American Express has a $300 checking bonus available, and you can't have had a rewards checking account before, so I'm ineligible. But it's as simple as receive a total of $7,500 or more in qualifying direct deposits within 90 days and get $250. Now it's $300 instead of $250. Next, Cambridge Savings Bank has a sign-up bonus of up to $1,200 when you open up an account. There's a few ways to go for it. I heard this from Peak, so hat tip to Peak. But checking account is $500 when you. Oh, let's see. They don't explain that. Hold on. $500 checking bonus when you open a new personal account, enroll in e-statements, and have accumulative direct deposits of $2,500 or more for the first 3 full calendar months following the date the new account is opened and funded. For the $300 recurring debit card transactions, you must complete 10 debit transactions on the card for the first 12 calendar months following the date the account was opened. Each qualifying transaction must be $10 or more. and ATM and cash advances do not count. The recurring bonus will be paid out $25 per monthly qualifying period for a total of $300 over 12 months. If monthly qualifying debit purchase transaction requirement are not met in a given month, no bonus will be paid out for that month. Then additionally, there's $400 high yield save money market bonus, which is open a new relationship yield money market account during the promotional period from May 1st until September 30th, and minimum deposit of $100, and you must not currently have a CSB personal savings and money market account, and must have not had one within the past 12 months, and maintain a minimum average balance of $25,000 for the first 3 months, and deposits used to qualify must be new money. Oh boy. And then for payout, the one-time $400 bonus will be credited within 2 months of the end of the qualifying period. So not too bad. Again, this is limited to, I think it's just Massachusetts where they have branches. Let's see. I believe it's just Massachusetts. All right, next, Farmers Insurance Federal Credit Union, FIGFCU, has a $250 to $400 checking bonus. There's a new $400 checking bonus to celebrate the Burbank branch opening. Requires the following: promo code, e-statements, 15 plus debit transactions, 3 or more qualifying direct deposits totaling $3,000 to $500, $3,000 to $5,000 for $250, or $5,000 or more for $400,000 bonus. $400,000 bonus. Sorry, $400 bonus. Next, Trustco Bank has a $350 business checking bonus, which may just be in branch only for Florida, Massachusetts, New Jersey, New York, and Vermont. New $350 bonus requires opening in branch and at $10,000 minimum, but significantly bigger than the previous $150 and $200 offers. This is for deposit of $100,000 not currently in Trustco and qualifying by completing 15 debit card transactions for the first 3 months and maintain a balance of $10,000 for the first 3 months to get $350. Seems like not a lot for a lot of work, if you ask me. Next, we have Camden National Bank, which is for Massachusetts, Maine, and New Hampshire. $300 checking bonus plus $200 savings bonus. The checking bonus is received direct deposit of $500 or more within the first 60 days. And then for the $200 savings bonus, it is open your first savings or money market account within 20 days and fund it with $10,000 and keep it for 90 days. I feel like I probably tried to apply for this and got denied, but I don't have any notes on it. Since this is in Massachusetts, I probably did. Next, Wells Fargo has a $400 checking bonus available online. The requirements are receive a total of $1,000 or more in qualifying direct deposits in the new checking account within 90 calendar days of account opening. I think I've done this a bunch of times in the past. Let me see if this is eligible for churn. Yes, this is eligible for churn. So, churn time is 12 months from the last bonus. So, I am probably eligible for this. I should probably take a look. Let me write a note to take a look at this. Just open this in a new tab. That'll remind me. All right. Next, into U.S. Bank land. Where was I? Hat tip to Ray again. U.S. Bank has a $800 sign-up bonus for their U.S. Bank Smartly account, where you can earn $350 if you have, within 90 days of your account opening, enroll in online banking and make at least 2 direct deposits that total $50,000 to $5,000 to $8,000 within 90 days to earn $350, between $8,000 and $12,000 to earn $450, and $12,000 or more to earn $800. I have to do some math here, but I think I'm going to go for this. I recently opened a business account with them, which I'll explain here in a little bit why I did that. But this seems like a pretty good bonus. Keep in mind that there are fees with this account. Several options to waive the $12 monthly maintenance fee, which include maintaining an average account of at least $1,500 or being part of a select group. So having direct deposits go in there will make you qualify as long as you keep $1,500 in there, but keep that in mind. Next, Teachers Federal Credit Union, $600 plus $100 referral checking bonus. This just came out today. The bonus is now $100 per month for a total of $600. You can also get an extra $100 via referral, find, and share referrals here. This is available in New York and Florida, and the offer is earn $100 per month for up to 6 months by completing the following requirements: open an account, checking account, and receive $1,000 in monthly direct deposits. So keep that going for 6 months, and you can get $600 plus a $100 referral bonus. That's pretty great. Next, over to business bank accounts. BMO Bank has a $400 to $115 $1,500 business checking bonus. This requires you to receive deposits on average collect balance in the account from days 30 to 90 in the amount of $4,000 to $25,000 for $400, $25,000 or more for $750, $50,000 or more for $1,000, $100,000 or more for $1,500. Seems like a lot. Also, there are fees, including pretty high that could go up to $15, $20 maintenance fee, but you can waive it depending on how much balance you have with the account. Next, Santander has a $500 business checking bonus in New Hampshire, Florida, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Delaware, New York, and New Jersey, or Pennsylvania, and is available only in branch, which will keep me from doing it. But it is on a flyer and expires at the end of this month. You must maintain an average balance of $5,000 for the first 90 days and get a $500 bonus. Next is a targeted your mileage may vary Bank of America $400 to $2,500 business checking bonus with $5,000 to $200,000 deposits. So deposit $5,000, get $400. Deposit $15,000, get $700. $50,000, $1,000, $100,000, $1,500, $200,000, $2,500. Keep in mind that this is targeted and is on a flyer, so it might not be available for everybody, but you can always call your Bank of America rep and see what they got for you. Next, we have two U.S. banking offers. One is the U.S. Bank U.S. Bank Platinum Business Checking Package, which allows you to earn a $1,200 bonus when you deposit $25,000 in new money within 30 days of account opening and hold it for 60 days. And there's also the U.S. Bank Business Essentials. Earn a $400 bonus when you make at least $5,000 in new money and keep it there for 60 days. I went for the Business Essentials, but I really should have just gone for the Platinum Business Checking account. The business checking account has a higher fee, but I would be waived because of the balance that I have there, and I do have those funds available. I don't know why I didn't go for it, to be honest with you. I think that the large ticket price scared me off. But the main reason why I went to this was because I opened up my American Express Marriott Bonvoy business card, and U.S. Bank allows American Express credit card funding. So I was like, oh, bet, easy. I'll open that. They have $3,000. I'll open two of these accounts. There's another savings account, that savings bonus that's coming up. Easy peasy. The savings bonus is deposit $10,000 in 30 days, hold it for 60 days for $300. So I was like, oh, two accounts, $6,000 of my $8,000 that's needed, easy peasy. I have the accounts opened. That went really seamless. I'm funding the accounts slowly because they only allow me to pull in $2,500 one at a time. Big hat tip to Ray on our Discord for sharing these. But I later learned that American Express changed their coding of these transactions, and they no longer earn cash back, and they no longer earn towards a minimum spend requirement. So kind of sad for me to hear, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. I'll have to organically hit this $8,000 spend. And then finally, not this. Bank Navo Business Checking has a $300 checking bonus. This is for a $10,000 in debit card spend to earn $500 in checking. So if you have an easy way to hit $10,000 of debit spend within, it doesn't say how long it takes, but that could be pretty hard to hit. 10,000 is quite a lot. Next, for brokerage bonuses, Betterment has a new tier for their Betterment 3-year hold period investment offerings. If you do $2,500 to $10,000, you get $100. $10,000 to $25,000, $125. And then it goes all the way up to $200,000 for $2,000. Holding period of 3 years is pretty long, and it's a lot of funds to lock up with Betterment. I don't really have experience with Betterment, and looking at the previous tiers, they did increase the higher ones. So they lowered the $750 one to be $50,000 to $100,000 when it previously was $100,000 to $200,000. The $100,000 to $200,000 is now $1,250 in bonus, and $200,000 used to be $1,500 and is now $2,000. So nice to see improvements, but still not quite there for me. Next, SoFi Invest is a 2% transfer bonus with a 5-year hold period for brokerage or IRA. SoFi Invest offering 2% transfer bonus to new or existing customers who transfer assets to the brokerage or IRA. Bonus is up to $100,000, which is a $5 million transfer, and your funds must be maintained for 5 years. Similar to Robinhood and other offers, but has a long 5-year lockout period. Next, Ally has joined the crew of offering a 3.5% IRA contribution match. Now, it doesn't say if this is a permanent feature or if this is a one-time feature. It's kind of billed as like a one-time feature, but we'll see if it maintains. If you already have Ally and have an IRA there, then it's nice. You also don't have to have a subscription fee that goes along with this. They just give it to you. It's also unsure how they give you this credit, whether it goes as a contribution or it says your match will be posted within 90 days of your contribution statement date. Matches appear as interest income and don't count towards your annual contribution limit. So it does go directly into your account. That's nice. And next we have some class actions. I know I've had some people reach out to me over Discord. Specifically, YARP recommended me doing an episode on how I find out about class action settlements. And honestly, I just peruse Doctrine of Credit and just find them there, or I get targeted in my emails. Be sure to check your trash and your spam for those to make sure you're not missing anything, because they can be lucrative. The Trader Joe's class action is alleging that Trader Joe's violated Fair, Accurate Credit Transactions Act. Anybody that made a purchase at Trader Joe's between 3/5/2019 and 7/19/2019 using a debit or credit card is eligible. Receipt for purpose must have included first 6 and last 4 digits of card number used. It looks like you need a claim ID and PIN. Otherwise, you need to download a personal claim form and send it in. Total settlement pool is 7.4 million, and counsel expects the petition court for 2.5 million plus attorney fees. And we'll see how much people actually give out. This is a strange one. This type of validation is better served with a government-mandated fee, considering no information was actually used for data theft. That being said, that pushes corporations for not properly securing data is a good thing. Don't think it's worth filing for a claim if you don't have a claim ID and PIN. It needs to be done manually. I would agree. And then finally, Fidelity Investments class action lawsuit, $100 payout. Who's eligible? If you're eligible, you will get an email with a PIN and login details, which are needed to file a claim. Payment is expected to be $100, but may be larger or smaller depending on the total claims filed. Total settlement $2.5 million. Claims must be submitted by July 27th of this year. So keep an eye on your emails for that. And then for me, I got a class action payout. So I talked about a little while ago in First Commonwealth. Let's see what episode this was in. First Commonwealth. I don't know if I talked about it, but I received a email for First Commonwealth that they've unfortunately leaked my information, as in they had a data breach and they were making me aware of it, and there was a class action against it. And I filled out the class action, and in it they said if you've purchased any identity theft software or anything of the likes. And I was like, well, actually, I did purchase Incogni Family Plan, which was $268.45. So I submitted that with a receipt. And lo and behold, I received a payout to my PayPal for $268.45, specifically for my Incogni subscription. So I was quite happy with that. I also get 4 years of identity theft from First Commonwealth, well, from whatever partner they worked with for this benefit. So I'll probably sign up for that too, but it's pretty nice. Next, there was a lightning deal that's now expired for in-kind gift cards at Costco. $100 in-kind gift card for $65, which is now expired. You can often just get pretty decent deals in-app with in-kind. They have made some changes recently where you can't stack offers and gift cards, which is kind of a shame, but I still get really good deals with in-kind, so I still use it and still have gift cards. You can just buy gift cards in the app. Next, TSA PreCheck, $20 savings for those aged 30 years or younger. So those 30 years and younger can save $20 on the cost of TSA PreCheck during the month of May of 2026. New applicants only, not for renewals. I personally don't know how people go without TSA PreCheck. I mean, to be fair, Logan Airport has almost no line ever, so it's not really needed. And I actually also have Clear, which is also ridiculous to have because then there's really no line. But I would recommend TSA PreCheck to anybody, especially Global Entry. Global Entry is a lifesaver coming back to the U.S. Next, This was a lightning deal, but has again since expired. Target was giving a $10 bonus when you buy gift cards. When you buy select $100 gift cards, some of them were including one for all gift cards, where I forget what I purchased it for. I want to say there was one that had Airbnb, but I can't remember. Let's see. No, maybe not. But they had some decent gift card deals there, and 10% off is not bad. Next, this is also expired, but Best Buy had a $50 Shell gift card for $45. Next, Capital One Cafes. Every Monday you get a free drink. You sign up at the link specifically for MLB partnership for game days, and you get a free coffee at Capital One Cafes. And the drink's pretty good, so go there on Mondays. It's going to be crowded, though, so keep that in mind. Next, there was another lightning deal that's been since expired, but you can get a free Dunkin' coffee with code Coffee is Free. I recently used mine. Dunkin' doesn't have great coffee. I say that as someone who lives in New England, but it's better than nothing, especially if it's free. Next, we're down into our other category, and we're starting to dwindle down here. New iBond rate projected at 4.26%. APY with a variable rate of 3.36 and a fixed of 0.9. The higher the fixed rate, the better, because that maintains forever, but the variable rate changes based on the going interest rates and inflation, because it's an iBond, which tracks inflation. And keep in mind that when you do cash this out, if it's less than 5 years, you get a 3-month penalty. So 4.26 isn't a bad rate currently, especially with the state tax exemption on iBonds and treasuries. So if you have some money you need to lock up somewhere, an iBond is not a bad option. But keep in mind you have to deal with Treasury Direct website, and it's kind of annoying. Next, hat tip to Gavin on our Discord, but he shared an email that you can use to forward emails to see if it's a scam. The email is scan@emlscanner.com. You forward your email there, and within about 10 minutes, you get a response showing that the trust metrics they use to check if the email is a scam are legit. It's free. You can get one per day, or you can subscribe on their website. But I thought that was interesting, so thanks, Gavin, for sharing that with us. Next, there were some lounge changes. There are Southwest is planning to open up 5 lounges, and United restricts Polaris lounge access for Star Alliance partners 1 mile at a time, reporting it. I also recently did some trips, and I went to my classic Stephanie's in Logan. I've been flying a lot to Virginia, and I've been going to DCA to go to the Capital One landing there, which is really nice, and also hit the Centurion Lounge while I'm there if I have time to do both. Often I'll put my name in the wait list in the Capital One landing and go over to the Centurion Lounge. I find the Capital One landing food to be very good. I think that the Chase Sapphire Lounge is the best. I've been there 3 times this year with 3 different priority passes that I have. But I think that in terms of ranking, I would go Chase Sapphire Reserve, Capital One landings, which are different than Capital One lounges. Capital One landings are more of like a restaurant style, while the lounges are a la carte. And then I would go Centurion Lounges. I haven't had good experience with Centurion Lounges. The recent one I went to, the mushroom chicken was actually quite good, but everything else is pretty basic. But the lounges are quite large, and I normally am able to find a seat for myself, no problem. And there normally is, I don't think I've ever had a wait at a Centurion Lounge, which is nice for me. Next, T-Mobile Money review. T-Mobile Money was an account where you can earn 4% interest on balances, but they made some negative changes starting May 1st. Effective June 1st, the annual percent yield on the accounts will change. Checking accounts without a qualifying direct deposit will change from 2.5% to 1%. Savings and shared savings, the APY will change from 2.5% to 1%. Checking accounts with qualifying direct deposit, for the portion of the balance above $3,000, the APY will change from 2.5 to 1%. The good news, 4% on the first $3,000 of your checking account remains unchanged when you make at least $200 in direct deposits each month. Plus, you'll set up payroll direct deposit. You can get paid up 2 days early. So they're basically just lowering the rates for their 4% for the $3,000 account, which I guess makes sense. I don't know why you're using the 2.5% anyway. I would just park $3,000 there and just transfer it out every so often. That's what Astra was really used for. If I ever had a balance go over a certain amount in a certain account, Astra could automatically move those funds somewhere for me, but that has long been gone. Next, Uber Eats removes the $5 monthly credit for Uber One annual users. Uber Eats is offering a $5 a month credit when you switch to a Uber One annual plan, effective May 31st. That benefit is going away. As a reminder, your monthly $5 offer is a limited time promotion benefit and is not guaranteed to last for the full duration of your annual plan. In line with that, effective 5/31/2026, the monthly $5 promo included in your annual plan will no longer be offered. Until then, you continue to use this monthly promo made available to you in accordance with its terms in the Uber app. It's insane that they offer it when you upgrade for a year and then take it away before the full years even come. That really low bar, guys. Next, Spirit Airlines shuts down, all flights canceled. Pretty crazy. I know that originally the Biden administration shut down the buyout of JetBlue and Spirit, and then Trump said that they were going to save it with a $500 million rescue package, and then that fell through, and now it's being shut down entirely. Spirit says, it is with great disappointment that on May 2nd, 2026, Spirit Airlines started an orderly wind down of operations effective immediately. To our guests, all flights have been canceled and our customer service is no longer available. We are proud of the impact of our ultra low cost model in the industry over the last 34 years and have hoped to serve our guests for many years to come. In that vein, Bank of America will refund Spirit Airlines' annual fee for their cards, but only if you ask. So you have to ask them in order to get a refund, which is kind of scummy, but hey, at least get a refund for a card that's for an airline that no longer exists. Next, just some kind of adjacent news. Apple used to always offer student discounts, and there was no validation on their website. You can just get a student discount no matter what. You just sign up, you just say you're a student, and then you get a discount. But now they're requiring Unity verification. I've used Unity verification, and it's much easier than other offerings. I forget the other one. It's like Sheer ID, but Unity is pretty simple, and I can just use my student email address that I have with a .edu email account, even though I'm no longer a current student, and it would still work for me. So not too bad, honestly. Next, also on InKind, they introduced dynamic cashback. It used to be 20% cashback on all transactions, but now it's 5 to 25% back based on restaurants. Next, in also lounge news, should have put this up higher. MasterCard is also launching 2 lounges called Taste by Priceless Airport Lounges, free access for World Legend cardholders. And it's interesting because World Legend is only a card, only with 3 different cards: the City Shred Elite, the Built Palladium, and the City Advantage Globe card. And these lounges are going to be in Hong Kong Terminal 1, Level 7. Taste of Priceless is the Sao Paulo Guarulhos Airport, GRU. And the next one will be Mexico City. So I'm interested to see what these lounges are like. I guess I can see a review video. Let's see. So looking at a quick video with AI dubbed voiceover. It's basically a super premium lounge that no one's going to have access to in weird areas. The per person rate looks like $85 per person if you don't have a card. So I guess it's a good benefit if you're at these random places in Hong Kong and Brazil, but otherwise not really much going on there. It is cool to see other people enter this space. I'm curious to see if there's going to be market oversaturation or customer fatigue with these different lounges. Like, how do I get into this lounge? Oh, I need this weird niche card. I already see it at things like Capital One Landing where people walk up and they go, oh, hey, how do I get in here? Like, oh, you need the Capital One card. Okay, what card? The Venture X. Oh, I had the Venture. No, that's the Venture One. You need the Venture X. Oh, what's the Venture X? $400 annual fee. Okay, never mind. And then so on. Next, Ally launches new loyalty program called Loyally. That's funny. 1 year of Calm for free, 3 months of Instacart Plus, and get $10 off your second order every month you're enrolled. Not sure if everybody has access to the same features or not. It seems any good offers, let us know in the comments below. I don't think it has any fee, but you might have an offer to join the Loyally rewards. And then finally, something that got me really ticked off. I shared a little while ago that Helium was a cell phone carrier that allowed you to have a free phone number with, I think it was like 3 gigs of service and maybe like 100 minutes and 100 texts per month. Super nice. And then they changed it to, they charge you just the fees, which I thought was fair. And then I sent an email out earlier this month saying, hey, so we're going away with your zero plan completely, which was the only zero, the fee plan, the fee-free plan that they offered. And instead, you are being automatically upgraded to a $15 per month Air plan starting on June 11th. So if you do nothing, you automatically get upgraded to a $15 per month Air plan, which really rubbed me the wrong way. And then reading the Discord, the Doctor Credit comments, a user posted a link to a Reddit post where someone screenshotted the CEO saying that, quote, "I don't consider people who are only happy when they get things for free to be useful contributors, more like parasites." It's crazy to call customers using the product that you offered parasites. Like, if you offered me a plan for $5 a month, I would have just signed up. If you offered me a plan for $7.50 a month, I maybe would have signed up. But $15 a month, I don't even use the number. I just like having honestly, I like the novelty of having a quote burner number. I think it's pretty funny. I tell people I have a burner number and it's like hilarious. But now I'm going to use it as a business number. And Hi Sirs on Discord shared a new plan called Infi Mobile, which offers some pretty low cost MVMO coverage, and I can port my number over from Helium, which is what I did. And for me, it was a 5 gigabyte per month plan with 500 calls and 500 text, I think, for $69 a year, including fees. So that comes out to, what is that? Where's calculator? 69 divided by 12, $575 a month. I'll happily pay that as to have a business card. So screw off Helium. Despicable behavior, to be honest with you. And then the final few things that I have here before I close out. I was talking about previously that my credit score was kind of going all over the place, and I was doing some pretty heavy cycling on my FMBO card, so my utilization would be pretty high. Like, I'd max that to 20,000 credit limit all the time, as well as my RFCU card, my $10,000 limit. I would also max out there, but that play has since shut me down, unfortunately. So I'm not doing that anymore. And I've always known that utilization has no history, but I've never actually proved it myself. So I've had this like blind belief that my credit score was down to like 670s because my utilization was so high. And I was like, oh, this is getting pretty bad. And now that I've stopped doing that, I updated my credit score and I'm back to 750. So it's good to know that what the rule is true, and it's not just a rule in writing, it's also a rule in practice. And then finally, I just thought this was funny. I attached it as a picture to the show notes, but I recently was traveling the metro in DC, and on their little kiosks, they flash their different cards that they allow. They allow their Smart Trip, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and Discover, and then they flash the future Visa debit card, which has been shuttered and no longer exists, but it is now e-waste shoved within all of the kiosks, within all of the metros. I wonder how long that's going to take to leave. It'll have this impact that people don't even know what a future card is. It doesn't even exist anymore. I just thought it was hilarious that I saw this, and I had to take this awkward picture of the little kiosk with the agent looking at me like, why are you taking a picture of the kiosk? Anyway, that's it for May. Sorry this was so long, but I want to make sure I cover everything. I know I kind of go fast, but I want to make sure I'm still covering all the content, giving you updates on things I'm doing. So thanks so much for listening, and have a good one. Peace. Oh, and also listen to Heavy Levin's new song coming up now. Wow.
If I could rise and fall again, would I
That was Heavy Lemon's new single, Owl, In Between. Stay tuned to streaming services everywhere for an official release from the studio. Peace, y'all.